All right, so like I was saying, my aunt was she was in hospice. She was transitioning. My family was wanting me to come down to see her, and they was getting upset with me because I was just like, I don't want to see her like that, because I didn't, because I had already seen two of my grandma's siblings prior to transitioning, and I could never get the image out of my head, so I didn't want to see her like that. That was my legit reason for not going to see her. But a day, like right before we was gonna leave to go to Maryland for Christmas, she passed. And of course my family's calling me, telling me, come down, you going to the funeral, this and that. And I'm just like, don't hate me. Don't hate me, because y'all already know what I'm about to say, and I'm about to piss y'all off. I am sorry. But I was just like, well, me and Jackson finna go to Maryland for Christmas. Like, we already had this plan. And my sister Raven went the fuck off on me. She was just like, you saying fuck your family for a nigga with titties? And I'm just like Raven, like, we not about to do that. She's like, nah, he don't even want to meet your family. He disrespectful. I bet he putting his hands on you. Ain't he put his hands on you? I'm like, he not putting his hands on me. I'm like, look, we already had this trip planned. We already spent the money for it. It was like, nah, fuck all that. It's family. Like, you saying fuck family? And I'm just like, we already had this plan. I'm like, I'm like, I don't want to see her like that. I'm like, just let me remember her like she was before she started transitioning. And then they hit me with the, oh, so you don't want to be there for grandma. And that, like, you know what? I do want to be there for grandma. So I went to D, and I was like, hey, my aunt passed. And he was just like, okay, what you want to do? And I was just like, I want to be there for my grandma. And he was just like, well, you know, my family, they excited about seeing Jackson for Christmas. I was like, yeah, I know. I know. I'm like, so how about this? How about I go to the funeral, be there for my grandma, and then I'll come up there later. He was just like, but that ain't what we planned. I was like, I know what we planned. He was like, and my family's excited about meeting Jackson, and we got all this planned. And I'm like, I mean, I know. And then he was just like, well, it's your decision. Do what you want. I just want you to know that, like, my family's excited about actually spending some time with Jackson, because they didn't really spend time with him when they was down for his graduation. So they excited about spending time for him. So I'm like, he kind of like guilt tripping me a little bit. And I called my family, and I was just like, I'm not going to be able to make it to the funeral, but don't get mad at me. When I get back, I'm going to come see grandma. I'm going to come check up on everybody and see how everything's going to go, because we already had this trip planned. Man, my sisters, I was all type of bitches, hoes, tricks, stupid ass. Like, I'm doing everything for a man. Like, you saying fuck your family. And I'm just like, yeah, I know. Like, that was the start of the isolation. Me being isolated from my family. That right there was the start. Because like I said, me and my sisters, we like this. We like locked in. If I shit, my sister Brittany gonna know that I took a shit today. Sorry, TMI. But I'm just letting you know how close it is, that she gonna know without me telling her. like, yep, you took shit. Yes, I did. That's like, we like this. So for me to be like, to them, I was exhibiting some questionable behaviors that they were not used to, because it's like what you doing? We like this. Like, you choosing this nigga over family? You ain't never did this before. What's going on? So that took their antennas up. So we end up going to Maryland for Christmas, spending Christmas with his family. Everything was good. There was no issues, no hiccups at first. It wasn't until after Christmas when the whole family went bowling. Like, we went bowling, went to the bowling alley, bowled. And on the way back to the house, like, me, Dee, and Jackson was in the rental. And, you know, the family was in their car. We was all going back to the house. So we in the car, and we at the gas station, and I get a message on my Instagram from some female that D was supposed to meet up with while he was there in Maryland. So I get the message on my Instagram. I'm looking at him. He's pumping the gas. And I'm like, fuck. Pumping the gas. I'm looking at the message. He get in the car. And I'm just like, Jackson's in the back seat. So I'm just like, somebody just sent me a message. He was like, who just sent you a message? And I like just handed him the phone. And then he looked at it. He was like, did you read it? I'm like, I didn't read it. I just saw who it was. And I handed you the phone. And he was just like, good girl. I'm like, good girl? That shit, that triggered me. Because I'm like, nigga, I ain't no dog. The fuck you mean good girl? Like everything would have been smooth if he wouldn't have said good girl. She was like, good girl. I'm like, the fuck you mean good girl? And he was just like, who you talking to like that? And I looked, and I remember Jackson was in the back seat. I was just like, don't talk to me like I'm a dog. I'm like, I'm not a dog. Don't do that. And he was just like, so what you trying to say? I was just like, a bitch sent me some shit about you on Instagram, and you saying good girl because I didn't read it. Basically, you telling me good job because I can't accuse you of shit because I don't know shit right now because I ain't look at it. And he was just like, don't raise your voice at me. I'm like, I'm not raising your voice. And then he put the car in drive and started driving. And then I was like, can I get my phone? He's like, no, you ain't gonna get your phone. I was like, look, I'm not gonna read the message. Can I please get my phone? And then he looked at Jackson. He was like, hey, son, can you get in the back? We was in an SUV. Like, our rental was an SUV. He was like, hey, son, can you get in the back? And Jackson was like, okay. He took his seatbelt off, climbed in the trunk or whatever not. And he was like, hey, Jackson, cover your ears. And Jackson like, okay. And Jackson covered his ears. And then he looked at me. He was like, say what you were just saying. And I looked at him, I'm like, I'm not about to say shit because you ain't been do nothing but hit. And as soon as I said hit, boom, right there inside of my face. He's like, shut the fuck up. And you better not start crying. You better not start crying. I'm just like, and I'm looking at him. He's like, you better not say shit. And then I put my hand down, and it was a big ass knot right there on the side of my face. And he was like, fuck. And I was like, yeah, fuck. Yeah, fuck. And he was like, you just like you like to poke the bear, don't you? You just love poking the bear. And I'm just like, nah, how we gonna explain this knot on my face, D? Huh? How we gonna explain the knot on my face? And he was just like, look, when we get back to this house, you go straight to the room. I handle it. You go straight to the room. And I'm just like, we gotta do New Year's tomorrow. Like, what do you mean go straight to the room? He like, go straight to the room, I'ma handle it. I just sat there in the passenger seat, and I was just quiet. He then told Jackson that he can get from out the trunk. He's like, all right, Jackson, you come back. Jackson climbed back over, put his car seat, not his car seat, put his seat back on, and just seat belt. I said belt. Seat belt on. And like we rode to the house. When we got to the house, he was just like, look, you get in here, don't say nothing to nobody, don't look at nobody, just go straight upstairs. So how his dad's house was is 3 layers. When you first walk in, you like in like the basement, but it's like a finished basement, so it could be a living room because it got like a half bath down there too. And then you go up the stairs, the second flight, you got the living room and then the kitchen, and then you go up a 3rd flight of stairs, you got the rooms. So we walk in, he's like, go straight upstairs. I put my head down and I go straight upstairs. It's like, hey, Yana, Jackson, how y'all doing? Like they was. They such amazing people. And he was like, how y'all doing? And I kept going all the way to the stairs. And Dee was like, yeah, she hit her head. Like she got a headache, she hit her head. And his dad was like, oh no, what's happening? She okay? She okay? Let me see. It was like, she just gonna lay down. I'm bring her some ice. Like, yeah, she hit her head pretty bad, but she's okay. Cause like, you know how calm she can get. And his dad just kind of looked at him, and he looked